UFC Fight Night returns this Saturday, Las Vegas, final card of a wild year. And I know this man is itching to get back in there and fight Stephen Wonderboy Thompson in the main event against, a very rugged and tough Geoff Neal. Wonderboy, it's been a long freaking time since you've rock and rolled. How you feeling so close to this one?
Feeling great, my brother. We are a few days away from rock and roll and main event, last fight of the year, which is I'm super excited about. Not only that, but we're on one of the stacked cards of the year too. We got some really good guys, Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo, and to be able to headline this card is it's epic, man. I'm really just glad to be a part, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Michelle Pineda too, going to do that circus act. Probably drop in like Sting in WCW days or something there. We'll be on the lookout for that. You have a very young and hip haircut and a very young nickname, Wonderboy. Well, you're 37 years old, bro. Can we go like Wonder Guy at this point? What are we doing with this thing?
Everybody's asking me that. When are we going to turn your name to Wonder Man? Come on, Steven. You're 37 years old. But I tell them, listen, as long as I'm walking out to Wonderboy by Tenacious D, I'm going to be the Wonderboy. All right? You got to go hard when you're walking out to Tenacious D. So I love it, man.
All right. I want to talk about this matchup in a second, but the road to get here, there's always politics in this game. I saw you linked to everyone from Leon Edwards to Khamzat Chimaev. I mean, how close were you to fighting anybody not named Geoff Neal to close out this year?
Man, I wasn't close at all. I mean, I've been out for a year. I broke both my hands in the Vicente Luque fight, which took a while for them to heal up. Had to do a lot of physical therapy for it. Then the pandemic hit. And then halfway through the summer, Chris Weidman was preparing for his fight. He ends up dumping me on my head, and I ended up tearing the cartilage in my collarbone, which took me a few months to recover. But, I was poking at Leon Edwards a little bit, but he wasn't having it. So, I've been here before, not be able to get any fights. Geoff Neal was up for the challenge. And even though he's ranked number 11 at this point, I was in his shoes not too long ago. Before I fought Jake Ellenberger, I was ranked lower than Geoff was before I got that fight. So, to be able to kind of give back and I know he's wanting to work his way up the rankings, and I'm here to give him that challenge.
All right. Well, I can't wait. This is a fantastic main event and what has been a crazy year, but a great one for fights. And we've been seeing so many play out well. When you look at this matchup, I mean, you're going to bring the karate, but this guy's strong counterpuncher, rugged, big, hungry. He seems to came out of nowhere and then was on ice for a bit. He's looking to itch to make a statement. What's this fight going to look like? We'll go 5 rounds. What are you expecting on Saturday?
You know what? Geoff Neal's a very, very tough opponent. Very durable, very strong welterweight. He's got good hands, good boxing abilities. You can tell that his wrestling has gotten better. So it's one of those guys he could take the fight anywhere, right? Like when I was preparing for Rory McDonald. But, I got good striking coaches, good wrestling as well. So wherever the fight goes, I'm going to be prepared for it. He likes to throw his left hand. He's been landing that, knocking dudes out. He's also got a left head kick, which you don't see a whole lot of guys knocking dudes out with head kicks in this division, except for myself. So it's great to kind of see somebody like that going out there, putting in the work. But he's very, very tough. And, for me, I always prepare for 5-minute rounds. I know our fight was, for starters, a 3-round fight, but I always do those championship rounds, even though I'm preparing for a 3 rounds. So, I'm prepared for the 5-5s. And I always I don't look for the knockout. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I always visualize my hand being raised at the end of the fight and a tough 5-minute round war. And that's what I'm prepared for.
All right. In this complicated but very viable welterweight title picture, the title fight of Burns and Usman got pushed off a little bit to open next year. How close, if you get a victory here, are you from getting right back to that doorstep of challenging again for the gold?
My last 2 guys I fought was ranked, number 11. So, I think a good win over Geoff Neal at the UFC is like, let's get this guy a top 5 guy. I know George Masvidal has considered fighting me in the past recently, trying to get that win back. So he's definitely at the top of the list. Would love to see that fight. I know him and Colby Covington are there's talks about them fighting, but nothing on paper yet. But I think a good win over Geoff Neal definitely puts me in that limelight to face somebody in the top 5. And hopefully in 2021, my goal is to be champion.
All right. I love that. Look, your recent wins have aged greatly. I mean, you beat the bags off of Masvidal, and that one looked great as he made his ascent. You only got to beat Luque as of late as well. But mixed with that, you've had some heartbreakers, man. You were beating Pettis for just about every second until it ended. And I'll go to my grave saying this. You got robbed against Darren Till. So you've experienced all the sort of highs and lows. How hard is it when you do suffer a loss that seems to break momentum? I mean, before that Till fight, I thought you were going to be right back into the title shot.
Yeah, it did definitely slow me down for sure. You know, UFC's got these guys that they push for the title. And, you know, Darren Till at the time was one of those guys. But, you know, I've always been a positive guy, even though I got knocked out. I don't know. You know, I was back. I was actually at the hospital letting everybody know that I was cool with a smile on my face. But, you know, that was the one fight that I felt like that I actually lost between my last 3 fights with, you know, the 2 with Tyron Woodley, the one with Darren Till. That's the one I actually felt that I lost. And I was winning that fight, to be honest with you. Anything can happen during the fight. And that was a good experience, to be honest. I've never been knocked out before. So now I know what that feels like. It ain't that bad. So, you know, all I can do now is go out there and just do my best, do 100%. And that's my main goal. You know, a win is a bonus for sure. But to be able to go out there and perform to the best of my ability, I'm happy with that. If I lose, I'm still happy because I know I did my best. I went out there and I performed the best that I could. And he beat me on my best day. So, you know, all I can do is go out there and fight my behind off Saturday and, you know, not have to worry about these other things.
Well, look, you had a draw with the champion Tyron Woodley in a fight that people forget how great that freaking fight was. Oh, by the way, at UFC 205 years ago. If you don't ever get there, if you don't ever put the gold around you, because you're entering into that territory where you're among the best names to have consistently been here, but not worn it yet. I know it's your goal. Will it kill you? Will it eat at you? I know we asked Joseph Benavidez the same question the last year a million times. He probably never wants to talk to us again. How would you feel if you exit this game without wearing it when you've been right freaking there, my man?
You know what? You know, you can what if all day. If you don't go out there and make it happen, that's on you. And to be honest with you, you know, I've faced some of the best fighters in the world. And that, like, who can say that, right? Who can say that they have fought the best fighters in the world? Very, very small percentage of people say they have done that. That's like an anime. That's like something you see in the movies. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with that. If you know, I go out there and not get the title, you know what? I'll still leave with a smile on my face. But if I go out there and do the best that I know I can and get that title, that's just even better. But you know, it won't be the end of the world.
All right. Well, you do have some great wins to look back on. The Rory one, obviously a huge one as well. But you mentioned Chris Weidman earlier. We know there's the Bronection, the family there, brothers-in-law. Did that happen before you guys made it big, during, after? What's the timeline there on you guys becoming blood in a way? Not really, but you get where I'm going.
Yeah, I got you. You know, it was actually during I helped him with his first 2 fights with Anderson Silva. We created a great relationship from there. And then he brought me into to simulate Lyoto Machida. He was getting ready to fight Lyoto. And my brother Tony wanted to come down and hang out. Chris was like, sure, bro, come on down, hang out. And I didn't even know Chris had a sister at the time. So those two ended up meeting each other, hitting it off. Next thing you know, she's moving down to South Carolina, them getting married. And then now they got 2 youngins together. So yeah, man, he's family now, bro. Family. I think it was 7 years ago. It was 7 or 8 years ago. So now he's in South Carolina. He moved to South Carolina, Fort Mill. He's in between Charlotte and us. So he's got family in Charlotte, family in Greenville. So he's about an hour away, which I can get him anytime I want to now. Chris, you're coming this weekend, or you have to answer to your sister. Let's go.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but in Chris Weidman's fight with Akhmedov, I saw him do some Wonderboy shit out there. There was almost a little. Did I see what I saw?
You did. You know, he was playing around with the style a little bit, and he was working in sparring. But, you know, he hasn't done it enough to be able to feel comfortable with it. He wanted to kind of throw his opponent off a little bit. And to be honest with you, he said that was the strongest guy he has ever faced in the 185 division. And that guy used to be a welterweight. I think he got beat by Gunnar Nelson. He used to be a welterweight. He said that was the strongest guy he's ever faced. So he had to revert a little bit back to his wrestling to try and tire his opponent out. But you saw a little bit of that, you know, a little bit of movement, hands down, angle changing. But he's loving the style. Of course, you know, he's always going to do what he does best. I mean, he's a collegiate wrestler. So, I don't ever see him totally changing his style at all. And I don't think he's going to, but to be able to throw an opponent off here and there, I think it's great. It's great, tool to have in your arsenal,
Well, should the great Chris Weidman ever lose again, I do expect you to run in, grab the mic, and say, Chris is still my brother-in-law. Okay, that would be very, very nice of you. A very polite thing. In your division, I'd mentioned quickly Khamzat Chimaev. More people are ready to put this guy on a statue and just give him the belt. What are your thoughts of what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Yeah, he's faced 3 opponents, and he's had 1 fight in welterweight division against a guy who's normally a 155er, and then he's ranked number 15 at this point. So it's I kind of asked myself not too long ago, so why is the UFC pushing this guy so much? And then I kind of called it. I was like, watch Khabib retire, and then Khabib retired, and I was, they got to keep that market, the Russian and. They got to keep that market and keep pushing it forward. And what better guy to do so than Khamzat? There's a lot of hype around him, obviously, at this point, and they're pushing him like crazy. Do I agree with it? No. There's a lot of guys in the division that deserve the title or fight against Leon Edwards more than he does. But it is what it is. The UFC is an entertainment industry, and they're looking for that bigger, better fight. So, it is what it is. I've kind of come to terms with it, and which means I got to push myself harder and put on good shows as well.
Well, I talked about you've got some sneaky good wins there. I mentioned when you dominated Rory, and we were like, oh God, I mean, you stopped Johnny Hendricks before he got washy. And do you ever feel the need to remind people you have knocked out Robert Whittaker, the freaking Bobby Knuckles? You once took his soul. I mean, come on. I shouldn't be playing the bugle for your resume. It speaks for itself.
Thanks, man. Yeah, man. I ended up, that was my first, I think, main event fight, or not main event, pay-per-view card. We were on the actual pay-per-view card. First fight on it. Ended up knocking him in the first round, and he hadn't been beat since until he fought Izzy Adesanya. So yeah, I ended up beating him, which was pretty cool. Of course, he's on another level now, obviously. He's gotten better since then. So, and I find myself rooting for him because you share an experience with somebody like that in the octagon. You got to cheer for the guy,
Indeed. I could see where you build the bridge, you become brothers afterwards from sharing that. I've seen you in this time off though, in front of a microphone. What's going on with the Wonderboy pod? Tell us about this changeover for you.
Yeah. So we started our own YouTube channel, me and my brother, Tony. And because we've had a lot of guys asking, how you do this technique, how you do that technique, kind of like what the life is about with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. So we kind of did it for the fun of it. We didn't know it was going to blow up as much as we did. We got, we're almost at 300,000 subscribers.
Wow.
In almost a little over a year, collabing with some really cool people. So it's just been fun, man. We've been doing a lot of commentating with different shows, and, we'll go live for the main event for some cards, and people are loving it, man. I think they like the fact, I don't know, not really the techniques, but just the personality of me and my brother and my family and everything. I think a lot of people can relate to that. I think that's what they're liking about it, but it's really cool to kind of give back to the fans and show them some really cool techniques. We have a Technique Tuesday. We do another video on Fridays. So we're having fun with it, man. We're just kind of along for the ride, to be honest with you.
Joining us basement dwellers here, the keyboard warriors. You're coming into our territory here. Well, you're welcome in it too, though. Quickly, this whole Jake Logan Paul bullshit. I mean, those guys are trying to take over boxing, MMA, YouTube. Well, I don't know what's going to be next. Does it make you want to throw up? Does it make you want to cash in? Where do you sit on this?
From an athlete standpoint, yeah. It's like, why are these guys even doing it? But from a market standpoint, these guys, hats off to them, man. Hats off to Jake Paul, Logan Paul, because these guys are making some money. Not just them, but their opponents as well. And at this point, they're fighting guys who have retired, who have, been through it, and they're making some money as well. So I think it's cool in that aspect. But as an athlete and as a fan, I don't agree with it. It's like, why are these guys even doing it? They don't deserve it. They don't deserve to stand out there and face a Floyd Mayweather or a Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? Like, you got to earn your right to do so, in my eyes. If I'm going to sit out there and say, I want to fight Roy Jones Jr., you got to earn it, man. You got to earn to even step in the octagon or the ring with these guys. But you know, nowadays it's about the hype, about the money. So you know, the Logan Paul and Jake Paul, hats off to them, because they're moving mountains, man. They are.
Yeah, but you don't see the Paul brothers knocking out Robert Whitaker earlier in his career, all right?
No,
all right, let's close with
that.
this. I've talked to you and your dad before, and you were raised right from the standpoint of cheesy, awesome American action martial arts movies. For me, I'm a Seagal guy. So if you were like, BC, show me the one movie that defines your bad taste in this great bullshit, I'd say Marked for Death, Steven Seagal, the dark
Marked
Jamaican
for Death. Dude, that
classic.
was one of my favorite movies, man.
Good, yes.
The arm breaking in that movie was legit. Like,
that's what
that
I'm
was
talking
before
about.
CGI. Like,
you know, and he caught one of those brothers to the crotch with a sword, chopped off the head of the other, the Screwface twins. What is your movie in this realm, whether it's JCVD or Seagal or Schwarzenegger? What is your go-to classic?
One of my go-to classics was Jean-Claude Van Damme. It was not Double Impact, not Bloodsport, but very few people know about it. It's called The Quest. I don't know if you've heard of it. You've seen it. No, it's obviously a legit Jean-Claude movie, tournament style, Bloodsport style movies called The Quest. Super legit, super cool, super fun. That was one of them. And I would have to say, this wasn't a movie. It was a TV show, Walker, Texas Ranger, man.
Wow, I even got Norris. Big Chuck Norris.
I even got the Chuck Norris jeans, the stretchy jeans, when I was a kid.
Wow.
You can kick in these bad boys.
That is super lame, but I love it. That is fantastic right there.
I'm telling you, we're going old school. We're going super cheesy, and that was it. We had the stretchy jeans, the eyes of a Ranger. Have you seen that? Did you ever watch it?
Oh yeah. That is some great trash right there. I love it. Wow, great chatting with you, Wonderboy. That is a great poll. I'm gonna have to look up that John Claude. I thought you were gonna talk about the one where he plays the hockey goalie. Not bad. All right, not bad. I don't believe it, but not bad. Saturday night, UFC Fight Night. Geoff Neal against this man, Wonderboy Thompson. Go get him. Best of luck, WonderBro. No longer a boy. All right,
WonderBro. I like that one. I like it, WonderBro.